Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So I'm here with my spring favorites. I've started to do like seasonal favorites versus monthly favorites just because I don't necessarily have stuff to talk about on a monthly basis, but seasonally I think it's kind of fun to do. So anyway, I will get started. I will start off with makeup. So this spring I was doing my 21 days of lipstick challenge, which I had a lot of fun with. It was just fun, you know, experimenting with different lip products and kind of discovering different things I like. Since doing that, I've had a chance to kind of play around with some of the items that I really enjoyed. So I do have some lip product favorites that I kind of discovered or rediscovered from doing that challenge. So firstly, I will mention the Fresh Sugar lip treatments. Now these I think I always have as favorites. I've really loved these ones for years. So I have the honey one and the rosé one. I think of all the ones I've tried that these are definitely my favorites. So the honey one I had in the challenge, and for that day I think I had said in the little clip, like, you know, it's kind of nice to go back to an old favorite, so I really like it. These are both just super hydrating. The honey one I currently have in my purse, so it's something that I can just like quickly apply for on the go. And then the rosé one, I didn't have this one in the challenge, but this one I used sort of to like condition my lips before I'd apply like a lip color. So it gives like a slight tint, but it's pretty sheer. So I can put it on before a lip color and it doesn't really affect the color of the lip. So I'll give quick swatches of these. But yeah, I think I always have these as favorites. But some things are like that. It's like if it's good, you're going to continually have it as a favorite. So, let's see, here are my swatches. I did like kind of 2 swipes. So this one is honey. So you can see it's a bit more pigmented than the rosé one on the bottom. So this one just gives a slight tint. So I can I use this one like in my makeup bag before I would apply another lip color. So those are definitely favorites, still favorites. I always get the little like travel sizes of these. They always come, like especially during the holidays, Fresh will do like little sets where you can get a few of these. Or Sephora will have these as like promo codes. So I've never actually had the full size of these, but I think those small sizes are great because I feel like to apply in the lips, they're like the perfect size for that. So I never really felt the need to buy the full size of these, but love those. And then another lip favorite that kind of surprised me, when I was doing my initial 21 days of lipstick, I don't think I love this one as much, but kind of after doing the challenge and being able to play with it some more, I've actually grown to really like it. So what I'm talking about is the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquified Lipstick in the color Sellout. So I think this was the first lipstick that I used for my 21 days of lipstick. I think that what I had said is I like the color, but it's just very drying. But I wasn't really used to wearing a liquid lipstick. This is like the first one I've ever tried, so I didn't really have anything to compare it to. But since doing the challenge, I've definitely been playing around with this one more, and I think I've kind of figured out how to apply it better, and I don't know, just have gotten more used to it. So I've grown to really like this one, and I think the color is really great as well. So this surprisingly has been another recent favorite of mine. So I'll give a swatch of this as well. And I think the color definitely helped me want to try it out more because it's just like the perfect sort of nudie shade. So that's that one. And I've been playing around with it more. I think I had to learn kind of how to apply it. Like maybe apply it, I've been applying it like in a thinner sort of layer, like not making it so gloopy. So playing around with it more, trying it out some more has definitely made me like this one a lot more, and it's definitely been a recent favorite. And then 2 more that I have to mention are the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipsticks. I had a little set of 4 of them that I got during the November VIB sale. And the two standouts for me are the more neutral colors. So I have Honeycomb, which I'm wearing currently. It's just a nude shade. It's just like the perfect nude shade for me. I really, really like it. So give a swatch of Honeycomb. So here's Honeycomb. These ones are just so creamy. They're so like pigmented and creamy. They're just like the perfect formula. They're definitely the antithesis to something like the Too Faced Melted Matte liquid lipstick, where that one's super long wearing. These are going to be something that you're going to need to reapply. I just love the formula of these. I think the packaging as well, these like little cute mini lipsticks are perfect as well. So really love Honeycomb. And then the other one I really like is Pepper. This is the perfect sort of just everyday type of shade. I would say it looks like it would be a little more red, but I would say it's more of a like Your Lips But Better, like My Lips But Better sort of color. So I will give a swatch of that one as well. And Pepper's one that I had previously used up in the Luminous Cream formula. And I really like it in the Amuse Bouche formula as well. So there is Pepper. So I definitely love more sort of neutral shades, and these 5 products, well, I guess 4 products plus Rosé, which wasn't in the challenge, but these 4 products definitely has been standouts from doing that challenge. So those are all my makeup favorites. Then I have a few candle favorites to talk about. So the first one is a Bath & Body Works 3-wick candle. This is in the Honey and Tangerine scent, and I've been burning this one recently, and it's just a very like sweet scent. I don't even know if the scent is particularly honey or tangerine, but it's just been very nice to burn lately. Like, I love the packaging of these, like the frosted glass, but the scent is just been so nice. So the notes of this are sugared honeycomb, golden tangerine, and warm tonka bean. So you kind of, I would say, yeah, that kind of vanilla part sweetness to it with that little bit of like citrus and like a sweet sort of honey scent. So I've really been enjoying this one lately. So it's definitely been a recent favorite. And then another candle that I wanted to mention is the one I currently have on my nightstand. This is one from Voluspa. So this is a brand that is sold at like Anthropologie. They always have like the best smelling candles. This one is the Goji Tarocco orange candle, and this one is so good. It's like so strong smelling. Like, even if I just have the lid off and have it on my nightstand, I can still smell the candle even if it's not burning. It's just so nice. I really enjoy it. And when it's burning, it's just such a great like citrus type of scent, which I've just been really into lately. So yeah, I almost don't want to like use this one up because I like it so much, but you can see I don't have much of it left. But yeah, this one has just been a real standout lately, and the packaging as well. I think this is like limited edition packaging. At least it says so on the lid. It is limited edition. But I know they have this scent because I did have this before, so I think it's just the packaging that's maybe limited edition. But yeah, I think the packaging of this is so nice, and I just really have been enjoying this one lately. So those are my candle favorites. And then I do have a tea favorite to mention as well, and this is the David's Tea Earl Grey. So I really love David's Tea. The first time I went to David's Tea was when I was in New York one time, and I have just sort of good memories tied to that. But recently, or it's not been that recent, I guess it was like towards the end of 2016, a David's Tea opened near me, so now I don't have to go all the way to New York for David's Tea. They do have them like closer to me, but you know, but I can get it a lot more easily now versus like ordering online. But it's just been so nice to have that store nearby. You know, I can kind of go there whenever I want to pick up some tea. So I recently got basically it was a refill of the Earl Grey, because I did have this before from them, and I got it in a bigger size now. But I've just really been enjoying this one lately. It's such a good Earl Grey tea. It just smells so good, and just, oh my gosh, I've just been really enjoying it lately. Like, I love black tea, but sometimes I don't want just a plain black tea. I want something a little extra in it, so I really enjoy this one. And I kind of noticed a theme And it kind of all relates to this candle. So this candle is honey and tangerine. So I have a honey candle, and then for the lip colors, I had the Fresh Sugar lip treatment in honey, and then I had the Honeycomb Amuse Bouche lipstick. So there's like a honey theme going on, and then also the tangerine, that like citrus note. So this candle is honey and tangerine. The Voluspa candle is Goji, Tarocco, orange, and then the bergamot, which it's like bergamot orange. So like, I don't know what that's about, but I guess that's kind of my theme for spring, has been honey, or like a sweet honey type of flavor with that like citrusy sort of scent. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. So now we'll move on to sort of my media favorites. I think in all of my favorites, I mentioned like a podcast, because I really have been into podcasts, especially, it's been since like last year when I started listening to the Serial podcast. That was sort of my gateway into podcast. And now I have a few that I listen to like consistently every week. So I think in all my favorites, I've been mentioning a different one. For this time, I will mention a gymnastics podcast. It's called Gymcastic, and I believe it's the only gymnastics podcast that there is. I found it last year before like the run up to the Olympics, when they were doing sort of like the national like championships for gymnastics and the like trials. I kind of wanted to know like who are the players, who are the contenders to like make the Olympic team. So I started listening to that podcast, and I've been listening ever since. It's definitely converted me from being just sort of a 4-year gymnastics fan who only watched during the Olympics to be someone that is now like watching it all the time. So in particular, one thing that they had recommended on the podcast was if you liked watching gymnastics during the Olympics, that you watch college gymnastics. So the college gymnastics season was from like January, and then it just recently concluded with the national championship in April. So the season's now over, but it was just so fun to watch because there's meets every week. There's so many different teams to watch and different conferences to watch, and I just really got into it. I'm not really a sports person. I don't like the traditional sort of like football, basketball type of sports. Like I don't know, they just don't interest me at all. But gymnastics, I always am just amazed by, because like the level of difficulty combined with the perfection of it just makes it like so exciting to watch. So I definitely have been enjoying just watching gymnastics and also listening to that podcast. So if you like gymnastics, if you like watching it during the Olympics and you kind of want to get more into it, I definitely recommend it. So I also have some television favorites. I think I always have television favorites. But recently there's been 2 shows that I really have been enjoying. The first one is RuPaul's Drag Race, which I think I mentioned last year in my favorites around this time as well. But the 9th season recently premiered. It's now on VH1. Previously, it was on Logo, which those are like sister channels, but it moved over to VH1, which I think is good for the show to get sort of a wider audience, because I think more people would have VH1 than Logo, which is a more of a deeper cut of a cable option. But yeah, I think it's good for the kind of exposure of the show. So yeah, I've really been enjoying the 9th season. I would say at this point, my favorite queens are Shea Coulee and Valentina. At this point, I would say that those 2 would definitely make it to the top 3 to be able to like battle it out for the win. But definitely been loving season 9. I definitely recommend this show. If you're kind of hesitant to it, I would say like just catch the last 3 minutes of an episode. So what they'll do is they have like a runway each week where they have to like do a different look based on a theme, and then they'll pick like the top and the bottom, sort of like a Project Runway, how they'll have like a runway presentation and then pick like the top 3, bottom 3, and then the 2 that are in the bottom 2 have to do a lip sync. And at the end of that, RuPaul will decide like who gets to stay and who's going home. But if you just want to kind of check out the show, you might get a spoiler for the episode, but just check out the lip sync, which is in the last like 3 minutes of the show. It's just so entertaining to watch like two drag queens lip sync at the same time to a song. And it's just so fun to like judge which one is doing better, because there's always one that just captures your attention more. I mean, in most cases, there's like a clear winner. Sometimes if they both don't do the greatest job, you're like, I don't know, or sometimes they're kind of equally matched, but it's just so fun to kind of pick out who you think is winning. And I don't know, it's just so entertaining. So definitely recommend that show if you're into, or think you would be interested in that. It's definitely something I'm really enjoying. I only started watching it last season, so I am still sort of like a newbie to the whole like world of RuPaul's Drag Race. But before they premiered season 9, Logo had like a marathon of the previous season, so I've kind of been going back and watching previous seasons. So recently watched for the first time season 5, and then I watched season 4. I'm kind of going like in reverse order to watch the old seasons. But yeah, I really love that show. It's so great. And yeah, I think of like a reality type of show, reality competition show, I think that one is just so creative and just does a really good job of not really getting stale. So love that. And then another show that I've really been liking, it's completely different than RuPaul's Drag Race, is Fargo, which recently premiered its season 3 on FX. So I would say with Fargo, if you've seen the Coen Brother movie, it came out in like 1996. If you've seen that movie, it's sort of the same general like storyline of the movie, but kind of told with different characters in a different like time setting. So the movie was set in the 90s. Season 1 of the show was set in the 2000s. Season 2 was set in the 70s, and the current season set in 2010. So it's all like a different story, but they're all very similar type of stories. So each season of the show is like a limited series. So it's 10 episodes, and it tells the complete story. So you could just, you know, if you want to just start watching from season 3, you totally could. But I would recommend, if you haven't seen Fargo the movie, to check that out first. See if you like the movie, and that can kind of be your, like, do I want to get into the show? Like, if you don't like the movie, then you probably won't like the shows. But if you really like the movie, then you could get into the shows. But you don't necessarily need to watch them in any particular order. Like, the worlds are all kind of related. It's in the same world. The seasons are related to each other. They kind of tie into each other, but you can definitely watch them as standalone. So season 3 has been really good so far. It stars Ewan McGregor as 2 like twin brothers, which is, I really like him as an actor, so it's just been a really good season so far. So yeah, definitely recommend Fargo, but I would say check out the movie first, or if you've seen the movie, I mean, it's from the 90s, so it's not like a new movie or anything, but if you've seen the movie, like the movie, then I would say definitely check out the show, or, you know, just check out the show, and you can definitely start just with season 3. So those are my TV favorites, and then finally, I do have a YouTube channel favorite. It is the same as my favorite from last time for my winter favorites, but this channel has continued to keep my interest. It's the channel's called Beauty News, and it's these 2 Australian women. They're both sort of like beauty bloggers. They both have their own YouTube channels, but I think last year they started the Beauty News channel. And the premise of it is that they would have like weekly kind of discussions about new makeup releases. So they share like pictures and talk about new makeup releases, and they also give sort of their opinion. So it's just kind of like hanging out and talking about makeup, and it's just really entertaining. I really enjoy watching their channel. More recently, they started doing a makeup breakup series where they basically destroy makeup. In most cases, they are able to repress the makeup and actually use it, but you know, they kind of like can test out different things with makeup. So for instance, I think for one of their videos, they like destroyed a Becca Champagne Pop highlighter, and they were able to like measure the product, see if you actually got what the packaging states that you would get in the product, and then they're able to repress it. They did a fun video with like seeing how many pumps you get in a standard like foundation bottle, and to see like how long it would last. They've destroyed, I think their most recent video, or a recent video, they destroyed like a Jeffree Star androgyny palette and like repressed the shadows. So it's just kind of like fun to watch. It's oddly fun to watch. It's sort of like if you were to do that to your own makeup, like destroy it, I think you would feel a little sick. But kind of watching other people do it, and especially since they do repress the products, they're not just being super wasteful. Like, I just find it's fun to watch. But definitely that channel, I love just their kind of beauty news, talks about makeup. I just find it really fun to watch and interesting as well. So anyway, those are my spring favorites. Definitely, if you have been enjoying stuff lately, let me know down below so I can check it out. But I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.